Hello. All right, so here's a question. Just find the question. I have huge problems with compulsive movement. I dare myself to get out of bed an hour early every morning just to run around my room like a madwoman in order to somehow manage to get in as many steps as possible so that I can allow myself to eat. I eat enough to gain weight, but constantly working against it and forcing myself to exercise. The success is, of course, nearly non-existent. Therefore, my question to you is, how do I manage to stop compulsive routine exercise and still be able to allow myself to eat? I can't get this connection out of my brain. How do I cope with the guilty feeling when not walking X amounts of steps a day? Every evening I make the decision just to stay in bed the next morning, but when the time comes, compulsion and trusted routine always wins. Well, that's a really familiar one to me. For 4 years I made the decision every night that I wouldn't go running the next day, and guess what I did as soon as I woke up in the morning? I went running. So I know it. I had, as many of you know, huge problems with compulsive movement. The question that you're really asking is, how do I manage to stop compulsive routine exercise and allow myself to eat and not gain as much weight as I think I'll gain if I let that happen? Your problem is with fear of weight gain. That's, whenever somebody is saying like, well, I don't know how to eat more, what you're actually saying is, I don't know how to eat more and not gain weight. When somebody says, I don't know how to stop compulsive movement, what you're actually saying is, I don't know how to stop compulsive movement and not gain weight. It's a fear response. You're afraid of gaining weight, and so therefore not doing these body weight suppression activities makes you feel afraid. And a fear response is hard, it's difficult. Like, there's a reason that we have this really strong fear response. It's a survival thing. So when we're afraid, it's difficult to go against, but it's not impossible to go against. And there's no easy answer that I can give you here. There's nothing that I can say that will suddenly make you feel okay with weight gain, which is what the problem is. You know that if you do unrestricted eating and you stop the compulsive movement, you know that you're going to gain weight. And that's always going to be, until you've rewired fear of weight gain, you're going to be terrified of doing that. And so it really is just it's just about making the decision and then actually sticking to it. And don't expect to not feel guilty. Of course you're going to feel guilty. Get used to that. You're going to have all of those feelings of guilt and shame and disgust and regret, because those are the feelings that your fear response evokes to try and get you to not do the thing that your brain is afraid of. So you can't not have those feelings. There's no way of doing this and not having those fear response feelings. Because if you didn't have a fear response, then you wouldn't have a problem, would you? So it's like anything else. When we are going to change a fear response, when we were trying to overcome something that we're afraid of, you go and you do that thing, and you know that whilst you're doing that thing, you're going to feel terrified. And this is what this is. This is what those feelings of guilt are. So anticipate them. You get up tomorrow morning and you don't do that stupid, annoying, stupid walking around the bedroom, and you're going to feel guilty as hell about it, aren't you? That's okay. That has to happen for your brain to learn that it doesn't need to be afraid of not doing that. You have to just allow that guilt to come and breathe through it and deal with it in whatever way you can. And don't say I can't, because you can. You can, and you have to, if you want to recover. Like, we can all kick and scream and moan about it, be like, hey, it's really hard, I don't want to do it, it's so unfair. But the reality is that if you want to recover, you have to do it. So you might as well shut up and get on with it. All right, I gotta go. Bye.